Hi, I'm Matt from Behind the Curve Outdoors, and we're going to talk about bows today. Um, if you've been around the channel long enough, you have seen my little ones hunting with me, doing pest control work with air guns. In the last couple seasons, we've taken a couple turkeys, and we've taken a couple deer with the use of a crossbow. But they're finally to the point in their life where they're big enough, strong enough, and mentally ready to try to take a deer with a compound bow. Like, that's their next challenge. They're like, Dad, I want to be like you. I want to shoot a compound. And so we're going to take that journey. And I'd like to invite you along as we go from bow selection to practice. And hopefully at the end of this series, we will see these two little ones take their first deer with a compound bow. It should be exciting. Come along with us. Yeah! All right, so let's pick a bow, right? So the first thing that I want to talk to you guys about is if you are in the market for a new bow for yourself because you're a beginning archer, you want to get into bow hunting, you want to get out in the yard and fling some arrows, or you have some kids that are looking to join the sport, is that you should go to a local pro shop. Local pro shops are going to give you your best start. Okay, you can buy points in all sports, but the best bang for your buck is to go into a pro shop and learn what proper form is. Look and get a bow set up for you specifically. Get the right draw weight, get the right draw length, and get that bow really dialed into you. And a local pro shop is going to be able to help you do that. They've got years of experience, they got their finger on the pulse of what equipment's out there, and they're going to have something that's going to fit everybody from tall to short, from somebody who wants to spend $4,000 on a setup to somebody who maybe is just trying to get in the sport and get their feet wet, and they might have some options in there that are a little more budget friendly, like this Mission Stryde that I'm holding in my hand. A very good beginner price point with a lot of high-end features, and we're going to talk about that here in a little bit. Me personally, I am super lucky in my area. I have 3 local pro shops. All the owners are great. One of my favorite spots to go is Antlers Archery in Schofield, Wisconsin. Bill Thomas down there. He runs a great shop, and he's got a 40-yard range indoors, which is phenomenal. So I like to go to see him for all my archery needs when I am looking to build a setup, or I'm directing people to a shop that is friendly, knows what they're doing, and can get you set up. So, new archer build. Why did I choose the Mission Stryde? Well, I didn't quite choose the bow right away. I was looking for a bow that would fit my growing archers, right? So if you have kids, they grow like weeds. One day they're this big, and next day they're like looking in the eyes, right? And it's like, well, how'd that happen, right? So what I wanted is I wanted a bow that could grow with my archer. And you have young archers, that's probably something you're going to be very interested in. You want to have a bow that can go up and down in draw weight and up and down in draw length. And so as they grow, you can adjust the bow to fit them. So I was looking at the Mission line, right? So Mission by Matthews has got some very good bows that are very adjustable. And I had picked out a Menace a couple days ago, and when I picked out the Menace, that was the bow on the market that seemed to fit the best at the point, talking to Bill at the shop. And he had the order in for me, and the next day he called me and said, Matt, we're going to put your order on pause. I just got this new Mission Stryde 28 in. I think this is the best bow for your daughters. And I said, okay, I'll be right in. So I went down to the shop, and he handed me this Mission Stryde 28 inches, axle to axle, from here to here. Matthews solo cam, something that we haven't seen in a long time because Matthews went away with it and brought it back. I love the solo cam. I had an MQ32 when it first came out, the shortest bow at the time on the market, and I shot the wheels off that thing. Like, literally, I shot it so much I wore the bearings out of the cam. I had to get new bearings for it. So I was super intrigued right away. So I went to the shop, and Bill hands me the bow, and what we know about the Matthews Stryde 28, it's adjustable. So from 21 inches to 29 inches of draw length, so how far you pull the bow back. And it's done so by this rotating module here on the bottom of the cam. If you look at the video below, I've got a video of Bill adjusting the cam for my youngest daughter as she was getting her bow set up. It's got adjustable draw weight. So this bow, Matthews or Mission, I should say, has adjustable draw weight. This one is the 30 to 50 pound limbs. I think they have 50 to 70 pound limbs, which, you know, 30 to 50 is going to be perfect, right where we want my kids to be. They're 12 and 14. They're not pulling a lot of draw weight. And one of the things I see a lot of times with new archers is like, I see Cam Haynes, he pulls 90 pounds. Dude, Cam Haynes is a beast. Cam Haynes has been shooting a bow longer than most of us been walking around, right? And running up and down mountains, and that guy can pull a bow, right? Start yourself off with a bow that you can pull easily. And I would say for most teenagers, under 50 pounds. My girls are 12 to 14. I'm looking at the 30-pound range. As you build those muscles of pulling the bow, it'll become easier. And by screwing the limb bolt in, you can get extra poundage. So don't go to the AX90. Cool bow, don't get me wrong, but probably going to be a little too much for the beginner archer. Get something that's adjustable. Get a wide range of weight that you can adjust your bow to. Some other features on the bow that I like a lot for beginning archer as well is the bow is light. Okay, so the bow by itself with nothing on it, it's under 4 pounds. Stack the stuff on it, the sight, the rest. A little stabilizer here from Trophy Ridge I got from Pyramid Air. And the bow is just a little bit under 5 pounds, so it's like 4.8, something like that. And I think great for a beginning archer, right? So the heavier the bow is, you got to hold this thing out in front of you. Next thing you know, you're kind of leaning back and you're trying to hold your bow up, and it makes it hard, right? So this bow, super light. The other thing that I like about the bow is it comes in a package. Now, Mission's got 2 different packages out there. One, the rest is a whisker biscuit, but the upgraded package is this Ultra View rest, right? I'm sorry, not Ultra View, Ultra Rest, which mounts directly to the riser of the bow. Okay, so don't have to go out and I don't have to spend another $300 on a sight. I don't have to go out and spend another $300 on a rest. Matthews or Mission is taking care of that for me. Now, granted, not the most high-tech setup, right? But I'm looking for a setup that's going to get my kids into archery and is more than efficient to kill deer with. I don't know how many deer I've killed with my MQ-32 in almost an identical true glow sight. You don't need the $300, $400 spot hog. You don't need the $300, $400 Hamsky rest. This is going to be more than efficient to get you in the woods. And this package, for the hunter package with the drop away, which mounts directly to the riser, is about $150. And it also comes with a 5-piece quiver, which beautiful to get you in the woods. The last thing that kind of sold me on the bow is it builds in a lot of like the high-end features that you're going to see on the Matthews line, like probably a couple years back in technology, but for the price point going in, you're going to get things like the low mount stabilizer holes, right? So you get this stabilizer closer to your bottom pivot point, adds a little bit of stability to the bow. You're going to get your dampeners into the riser. Wide limb pockets, though these look like they're like I don't want to call them plastic because I'm sure it's not plastic, but a molded limb pocket where a higher end bow would probably be machined aluminum, but still a pretty solid option, nice and wide, going to give you a stable platform, right? So for the beginning archer, for around $750 or so, you get this package. Are there cheaper models out there? I shouldn't say cheaper. Are there less expensive models out there? Yes, there are. Bear's got a great one. PSE has got a great model. And we'll talk about those in some upcoming videos. But I spent a little extra money on the kids. It's just something that we do as a family. We go and we do a bunch of shoots together. They're super interested in being in the woods with me. And this is what I can afford to give them the best experience that they can have going forward with me. So this is why I chose the Matthews Stryde, right? Or I'm sorry, the Mission Stryde. I keep calling it Matthews, but sister companies. And I think this is going to be a great setup. Okay. So while I was in the bow shop with Bill, he decided to do a little interview with me. And I thought it'd be beneficial to kind of highlight some of the things that you get as an archer going into a pro shop. So here's that interview with Bill. We'll see you when we get done. All right, hey Bill. So got the kiddo set up here with the new Stryde in the 28. Thanks for doing that for us. Appreciate it. I just had a couple of questions for you since you're like our area professional. How long have you been in this shop?
16 years.
Six,
16 already.
16 years, right?
Yeah, 16.
Wow, that seems wild.
I know. It flew by. It flew by.
Oh,
Yeah.
that I'm really amazed by that number, to tell you the truth. I feel like we just started knowing each other like
Right.
last year. Like,
Right. Yeah.
it's
It's
been
like
a while.
it goes fast.
So what was the driving reason why you decided to open an archery shop?
Well, there really wasn't one in the area. We had our Gander Mountain, with their box store shops, and Nick had Outdoors Unlimited, but he had been bought out by Gander Mountain, and we just didn't. There was nothing here, so there was Marshfield, Anigo. Those are the closest.
All right.
So decided to put one in.
Excellent. So can you tell us a little bit about your shop? Like, what products do you normally sell? A little bit about the range in the back and the things that you guys could do throughout the year to bring archers into the shop.
Yeah, my main lines are a Matthews Mission. They keep me the busiest. I do Darton also, Mission crossbows. Those are my main lines. Those are probably the biggest draw into the business here. Have the 3D range out to, I keep it under 40 yards. That's also a big draw to get people through the door to come check everything else out. Yeah, I try to sell products that you can't get in like a Sportsman's Warehouse or something. I try to be specialized if I can.
Okay.
Because it's hard to compete with the big boys with their buying power. It's just hard to do with their products. So I try to be different and just try to follow and be more specialized.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your 3D range out there, pretty unique to anything in the area because nobody has a 40-yard range.
Correct.
Anywhere close to us.
It's hard to find a building that size. That's the hardest part. It's just hard.
That is true.
Yeah.
How many 3D targets do you have out there?
It's a 28 target course. So it works as a station. Whatever number of station you're standing on, there will be a corresponding number on that animal. Try to mix it up, give you different angle shots, quartering away, quartering to. We just try to make it as realistic to hunting as you can. I try to challenge our shooters. I just try to, and especially in our leagues, Matt, you've shot there before.
Yeah. That's a good time.
I start you off easy, and then I just progressively make it harder just to work you a little bit. But yeah, the biggest thing is you got to keep it changing it up to keep people interested.
Yeah. And speaking changing it up, another aspect I think is really cool about your range is you have the upstairs platform.
Yeah, the mezzanine. Yeah.
You get to shoot down. How many feet up is that?
It's only probably 10 feet up, but it just gives you a different perspective of shooting, and it does affect if you do not bend at the waist, even at 10 feet up, shooting at a target, you will shoot high.
Yeah.
You will not be in your peep correct, so you still have to bend at the waist instead of bending at the shoulders. It matters.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think that's one of the coolest shots in the area too, because for one, no one has the indoor the range, and then you get that extra elevation too, and you kind of spread it out across the range, which makes it super cool.
It makes it difficult. That's for sure.
So I see recently you have started doing Facebook Live stuff, and you're putting out tips and tricks and things that people can start working on their bows.
Yep.
I know that you're a full service shop.
Yep.
But what are can you throw out a couple of things that the average bow hunter should be able to do to their bow, or be able to look at their bow and go, I need to take this into a shop? So that's a two-part question, I guess. So what should they be able to do to work on their own stuff? What are some minor things they should be able to keep themselves in the field? And then two, what things should they look for to make sure they're keeping their equipment to the max so they can have it? And if it gets out of spec or out of time, it's time to go to the shop. What are some things we can look for?
Sure. Like I covered last night on my Facebook Live, installing a D-loop. That's kind of easy. It's a wear item. It always wears out. It's good to know because sometimes a shop, it may not be open when you bust a D-loop or something. So it'd be nice to know how to do that. Check timing on your bow. That's another thing. Like this solo cam Bowhunter, the Stryde, you don't have to worry about it as much. What you do check then is your center shot. Make sure that your arrow is these usually a solo cam bow likes to be a little knock high. That's just how they are. If it starts getting a little much, then we know the strings are stretching. Time to do a little correction on it. Just string wear too. Just keep an eye on your strings. 3 years is like the max. That is the max usually on a set of strings. I hear it all the time in here, guys. Oh, the original strings, 12 years old.
Oof.
That's scary. To me, that's frightening.
That is scary.
But yeah, just adjusting your sight. That should be another thing. I hear that a lot too. People just aren't familiar with how to adjust their sight to where they're impacting the target. It's good things to know, and there's a lot of information out there. I'm trying to do it. There's other guys too doing it, but yeah, you should. I think you should. I'm here to make money doing service net, but I feel that the archer should know how to do some things on his bow also. Yeah, poundage, that's another thing. Adjust the poundage. Don't be afraid to do it. Just don't back it out 20 turns.
There's a safety issue there.
Yeah. Some bows it will come apart when you do that. So
all right. So you talked a little bit about strings. For the average bow hunter, you said 3 years.
Yeah.
Right. And so if you're shooting more, obviously that window's going to collapse a little bit.
Correct.
What are some tall tale signs when when you see somebody bring in a string, like, yup, for sure that's getting replaced, we can't leave the shop, like, we need to get this thing done?
Serving wear. The serving wear is a huge one. Peep rotation that we cannot control. All that peep, no matter what we do, it will not stay put. That's kind of an indicator to me that the string is it's done. It's reached its lifespan. But yeah, a lot of serving wear. These bows, they're designed to go around corners, on their cams or on their modules. Any sharp corner, it's going to wear. And when that wear starts breaking down that serving and getting to the string underneath, it's done. It's time.
Yeah, very good. I have 2 more questions for you. If for the average bow hunter, right, the person who wants to be like, what's a tip or a trick that you can give them, or some advice that you would give them to make them more successful in the field?
Work on your form.
Work on your form.
Form is number one right here. How you hold the bow is probably the number one critical aspect of shooting. Let the bow do the work. You are there for a pivot point. Do not over grip it. Do not over torque it. Just let that bow sit against your hand. Relaxed hand position, no muscle to it. We want it soft, and your shot groups will improve immensely.
Excellent. Well, there you go. The one thing you work on to make yourself a better bow hunter is your hand placement, and that's something I think that I would agree that'd be a critical part, especially like when you get the big buck, that rolls through. And you're gonna want to squeeze that thing, but making sure you have a nice relaxed hand.
You gotta have this is a machine. It'll do the same thing over and over and over. Us as shooters, that's the hard part for us to duplicate our procedure.
All right, excellent. And then last question for you, Bill. What keeps you coming back to the shop day after day? Because I've been in here, 16 years now. That's been wild. But I've been in the shop when it's slow, and I've been in the shop when there's 15 guys walking around in here, and you have bows piled in the corner, and there's bows piled in the back, and everybody wants your attention, but every time I've walked that door, no matter how busy it is, hey, howdy, how's it going? You're smiling, you're having a great time. What are the things that keep you coming back? And
I guess it'd be the interactions with you guys coming through. It's like I've known you guys forever, and it's just the stories and chit chatting, and the return customers just bringing me their stuff because they trust me. I hear that all the time. We trust you. Yeah, that brings me back into the shop every year.
Yeah, excellent. I would agree with that. You're my first call when the kids were getting ready to upgrade. I was I called you up and said, hey, we need some bows. Bring them on in. Then we had a back and forth for a while, and we were actually set on a different bow for a little bit. And then Mission came out with the new Stryde, and you're like, you got to look at this.
Yeah, this is a better fit than what we were going to do.
Yeah.
I'm glad they came out with it and the time you were looking.
Yeah, so. Me too. Super happy. Well, thanks, Bill. I appreciate it.
You bet.
Well,
thanks for coming in.
We'll see you down the road. All right. All right. So this is all the time we have for this week. I appreciate you tuning in. I want to give a special shout out to Bill thank you, Bill, for the heads up on the Stryde. I think this is going to be a great setup. I can't wait to see the girls kill their first deer with it this fall. Man, I can't believe you've been in that shop for 16 years already. Thanks for all the service over the years. Thanks for the laughs. Thanks for the smiles. Thanks for doing what you do for the archery community. It's people like you that keep archers coming back. With that, next week, we're going to talk about, hey, how do we get proficient at shooting a bow? We're going to start talking about stance, grip, and shot placements, and then we'll build this thing into what broadheads. How do we shoot from elevated positions? And then let's wrap this thing up with a couple deer on the ground, shall we? Until next week, shoot straight, have fun. We'll see you next time.